Hello and welcome back to the channel. So you joined me from my new camper van. Yep, I've actually gone out and bought myself a camper van so I can go out and do wildlife photography trips like the one I'm currently on now. So I've just driven from where I live in West Norfolk to RSPB Strumpshaw Fen. I'm basically doing a 3 days 2 nights wild camping trip, in my new camper van. So yeah, I decided I really wanted to photograph the seals or Horsey again, and then I decided to make like a big sort of journey out of it. So on the way to Horsey, I thought there's about 3 RSPB reserves in this local area, so I thought I'd spend today getting as much done as I can visiting the reserves. It makes sense because it's a very bright sort of sunny day today, and photographing the seals on a bright beach probably wouldn't have been a great idea. But birds, you're going to need a lot of light for bird photography, so it made a lot of sense to do birds today. So yeah, a few things have changed. It's been about 3 or 4 months since I last uploaded a video. Apologies for that, I've not really had time to make these videos. I've obviously got the camper van. I'll do a full video on that and you'll get to see that over these coming videos. And I'm also now using the Panasonic Lumix G9. I'll stop waffling on, let's get out, let's explore Strumpshaw because I've never been here before, and let's hopefully have a really cool trip in the camper. So I've just left the visitor centre. The 2 chaps in there were really nice and helpful, and like I say, I've never been here before, so I'm going to take a trip down to Towerhide, which according to this sign is 1,300 metres away. But yeah, we were just sort of chatting about mirrorless cameras. It seems like everyone's getting a mirrorless camera at the moment. That chap was actually using the Z6. So actually today, Panasonic have just released a firmware update for the Lumix G9. Essentially, there's a bench here. Essentially what that does, we've now got animal autofocus, which seemed to work really nicely on a couple of ducks just by the visitor centre. We've also got internal 4K 10-bit 422 recording, which is absolutely awesome. And there's loads of other little bits and bobs as well. So I'm definitely really excited to check out the animal autofocus on the G9. And yeah, just it's just nice to be out in nature again. I haven't really got massive expectations for the day. I think what I'll do is spend the morning or the rest of the morning down here, pop back to the van for some lunch, and yeah, maybe just spend the day here. Yeah, off to the hide.
Wet, wet, wet. This pipe is used to measure groundwater levels. Fresh water is the lifeblood of Strumpshaw Fen. The wetland is fed by water from rainfall in the river as well as underground sources. Much of the rainfall passes through the sandy soils deep into the ground. This groundwater is vital for keeping the reserve wet all year round and prevents the reed beds, meadows and fen habitats from drying up. The groundwater is important for people too, supplying fresh water to local communities, industries and agriculture. However, if too much groundwater is taken for human use, the wildlife and habitats will suffer. The Environmental Agency has installed water monitoring equipment around the reserve. They're using this to find out if groundwater use is impacting the wildlife and habitats of Strumpshaw Fen.
Yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, this place is pretty damn beautiful. It does help that this is the first crisp, cold, sunny day that we've had in God knows how long. So yeah, I've definitely picked the best couple of days to do this trip. Anyway, I'm already -1 point, vlog points, because there was a beautiful robin taking a ground out of a worm, taking a worm out of the ground right in front of me. But I was too busy focusing on vlogging the event and didn't capture any of it. So yeah, -1 vlog points. Let's carry on and get to this hide. So on my way to the hide, I noticed on this pathway there's a lot of apples all over the floor, and some of the smaller birds like the robins and tits, no jokes, were eating the apples. But obviously at this reserve the birds aren't too hot on humans, because even with a bit of waiting they're not carrying on eating. So yeah, I think I'm never going to get to this hide the way I'm going. So yeah, let's definitely get to this hide, because like I say, first time here.
I think someone's trying to outdo my camper van. And succeeding. So for those of you that aren't very great on their technical terms like me, the coppice management of the riverbank. So this is basically a coppice, which I had no idea. Obviously I'd heard of a coppice, never knew what it was. It says here the trees along the riverbank are rotationally coppiced. This ancient practice creates glades which benefit insects and ground flora. The fresh, healthy growth of new branches creates a bushy tree canopy, providing a diverse vegetation structure in terms of height and age. The process benefits many nesting birds such as warblers, bullfinch and thrush species, as well as giving safe rooting sites for many species in winter. So there you go, you learn something new every day. That is a coppice. Finally, we're here. Seems like I've got the place to myself. So this is Tower Hide. Unfortunately, doesn't seem to be a great deal going on. Yeah. So I met a gentleman on the footpath just on the way down here, and he said, I wish the RSPB guys had told us that there'll be no birds here. Basically what's going on, someone's obviously doing some sort of maintenance work with a chainsaw, and that probably explained the bonfire over there. However, I don't think that's pretty conducive or helpful when you're trying to do some bird photography. I mean, they did warn us, so, but yeah, that fire is probably going to keep most of the birds away.
So yeah, I think we'll possibly count this one as a bit of a loss, but what I will probably do is test the G9, which so far has been really good for the animal autofocus. I've tried it out on a swan, it worked on a swan, it worked on a robin, worked on tits. Yeah, so far that seems to be working pretty well. So yeah, I think it's a case of usual hide photography, a lot of waiting and possibly no action. And then yeah, probably back to the van. So I've been in the hide for about half an hour. To be fair, there's not really anything going on. I believe I've seen a teal. Don't think I've ever seen a teal before, so that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, it was at quite a distance away. It says here, teal are one of the smallest and daintiest ducks. Watch out for them in winter, when many of them escape the harsh weather of Siberia and the Baltic to migrate to the UK. To be fair, if I had to live in the Siberia in the winter, I'd come here too. But yeah, not a lot going on. With regards to the animal autofocus on the G9, I've already noticed that it doesn't really work on animals that are far away. The autofocus system still works really well and it will pick it up even in that mode, but it doesn't do like the little box around the subject when it's really far away. It seems to be better for close animals, and to be fair, the sort of shots that I was getting at that distance, they were pretty unusable anyway. So yeah, but just in general, here she is. Oh my god, she's so sexy. That is my G9. It's obviously the upgrade to my G80, but I'll probably talk about that in another video. So yeah, let's just appreciate the view, because I don't think there's going to be any birds arriving anytime soon. Looks like our friend the teal's back. Shocks me just how good the stabilisation is. I mean, that was at 800mm equivalent. Love that camera. Love this camera. Oh, a pheasant. A pheasant. Oh, shame he's down so low. Let's see if animal detect autofocus. Oh my god, it works on a pheasant. That is. And it's nice and sharp. That is really cool. So yeah, I think Animal Detect AF is going to be my new sort of standard go-to autofocus setting for the G9. Oh, don't you just love it when you get stuff for free? So I've just reviewed the photos on the G9, just gone in, sort of zoomed in and had a look at the pheasant. Now, one thing that I will say is when it comes to a static subject like the pheasant, although the Animal AF is awesome, it's still not a replacement for your kind of single autofocus or stuff like that, just because obviously the autofocus is picking up the whole bird as a whole and drawing a box around it, but it's not deciding where to actually focus on that bird. So just looking at a couple of the shots, the bird's whole body was in focus, but his eye, which was slightly at a different sort of distance away, wasn't sharp in focus. Now, what I normally like to do for a pretty static subject is put it into AFS, so autofocus single, and then pick a pinpoint focus, and then basically go bang straight in on the animal's eye, and then take the shot that way. And that just means that, you know, the subject's eye is in really sharp focus, which is ideally what you want. So yeah, as much as the animal AF is really, really good, it's not infallible, and you're going to kind of have to use your own judgment to decide when and where and how you're going to use it. It's not just going to solve all of your autofocus problems for wildlife, basically. So, vlog points, -2 now. I was just doing a piece to camera, or this piece to camera, when a marsh harrier decided to land at the water's edge, just messing everything up for me. So yeah, that's the second time now. Basically what the plan is, it's almost 3 o'clock, so I need to get back to the camper van. It's getting freezing cold. There was a frost last night, I think it was about -2. Oh, you're bloody joking. Look at this. This is a 60mm. Oh, focus. So yeah, the marsh harrier decides to return as I leave. Basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to head back, regardless of how much I want to stay and how much the lighting is really nice. I want to get to the Horsey area this evening, get my dinner on and all that, obviously sleep in the van overnight, so I can go see the seals at Horsey as early as I can in the morning. So yeah, unless anything happens on my way back through the reserve, I'll see you back at the van. It's bloody freezing. This is more for the international viewers, but basically in the UK in the winter we have 2 types of weather. It's absolutely freezing cold or relatively warm and rain. Now, since sort of the end of September, or even September itself, it has been raining pretty much, I don't know, 90% of the time. So the ground is absolutely horrendous. Look at the ground. That is what the ground currently looks like, and this isn't even a particularly muddy bit. So yeah, and then the extreme is we'll often get air from the north, and then it's freezing cold. So basically in the UK, it's either freezing cold or peeing it down with rain. Now luckily I've timed this camping trip to coincide with a dry spell, but of course because we're not getting rain, it's freezing. And I'm in a camper van tonight. I needn't complain, there's probably people in tents, but still, Christ, I don't know whether you can hear all the commotion going on around me. I totally wasn't expecting this, but just where that puddle is, I literally just come around this corner and there was a grey heron just right in front of me. Obviously it flew off way before I even had a chance to think about getting the camera out. But wow, that was so close. It was so cool. And as soon as I've left the hide, this whole place has just really has come alive. I've heard there's Chinese water deer here too. So there's a pheasant. Oh my god. I've got to change hands, it's getting too heavy. Yeah, this is so strange. The whole place, I've had nothing all day, and now the whole place comes alive. So RSPB Strumpshaw Fen, if you come here of an evening. If you're coming here in winter, come of an evening. And yeah, I'm so cold, but yeah, I don't know if I've got enough light to work with. I've probably got half an hour max. of semi-usable light. What the hell? I've just seen a marsh harrier getting chased. Wow, barn owl, barn owl. I've got to put you down. Apologies for that. So there's a barn owl literally just flown straight in front of me. I can't go. I cannot leave this place. I absolutely cannot leave. So he's just gone over in that direction. Let me just straighten up my tripod. He's just gone over here. I really should have filmed him or her with this camera. So this is the problem with vlogging. The amount of situations you come across that are impromptu, you don't know that they're going to happen, and okay, he's flying. Nah, he's a good sort of 600 meters away. The light is, oh god, the light is awesome. It's absolutely stunning. Yeah. Okay, well, we're still going to head back to the van, but yeah, we could be in for a bit of a treat. Interesting fact, I had never crossed a railway until today. Now it's going to be my second time. So yeah, I've got to cross a railway. Ugh. So, we're back in the van. My wellies are absolutely covered in mud. So, I think I'm going to have to wipe them down. But yeah. So this car park looks like there isn't a barrier. So it means potentially you could stay for the night. I don't know what the score is with that. But yeah, I think first I need to change my shoes, get myself on a hot brew, and then probably have dinner here. So let's get that done. So the cool thing about having a camper van is I can now cook myself some hot dinner. I've got a load of old army rations that I can use. So let's get cooking. Yes, chicken meatballs and pasta. Now I've got to make the decision of where I'm going to stay. At the minute I'm in Strumpshaw Fen car park, which seems to be open. There's no signs saying that you can't camp overnight in a motorhome or anything, but I do want to go and see the seals at Horsey as early in the morning as I can. So I was intending on wild camping sort of near Horsey, but the problem is I was planning to use the National Trust car park, which is free for members, but I've suddenly clicked and wondered whether that car park's actually going to be open early in the morning. So yeah, it leaves me in a bit of a bind. Part of me wants to stay here, where I know it's, well, at least I assume it's pretty safe. It literally is in the middle of nowhere. Or do I head over to Horsey, where I was intended to stay, and settle down over there? I think, yeah, I'm going to head to Horsey. So, oof, it is cold in here. You know when people say I'm in the arse end of nowhere? I really am in the arse end of nowhere. I'm parked up in a lay-by, just off the main sort of Horsey road. I did pop into the National Trust car park. It says like basically no overnight parking or camping. I did actually see like a big horse box with obviously someone, like in a lot of the horse boxes, they have like sort of little living quarters. They're almost like big camper vans. And there did appear to be someone in there. As soon as they obviously heard my van, the lights went out. So, to be fair, it's probably a good idea to park up with someone. On the other hand, it's probably not a good idea to just disobey the rules at the end of the day. But just to give you an idea of when I say we're in the arse end of nowhere, you won't see anything, but you'll get a general gist. You'll be able to see any lights off in the distance, and well, there's not really any. We really are in the middle of nowhere. I'm not actually used to this sort of thing. There's probably people that do van life and do all that kind of crazy thing. I'm definitely not used to this. I'm not used to just parking up in a vehicle. I've only ever done campsites before. So this is this is all new to me. I've just gone outside. The grass is like already, it's only 6:15. It's pitch black. The grass is actually already getting a nice coating of ice on it. So it's going to be interesting. We need to close the curtains, get myself comfortable, get a brew on. And yeah, it's this is why I hate winter. Like, it's 6:15 and it's pitch black. Cool, let's get done. Hey, voila. Just left this window open. Well, this one, the curtains open even, just so we can actually cook without setting the curtains on fire. And yeah, we are completely sealed off. Just got to sort that curtain out. So here's my bed setup. I'm actually only using the single bed at the moment. The reason being is that just in case anything happens during the night, I can jump in the driver's seat and basically just drive straight off. So it makes sense to not make up a double bed. There's only me, and yeah, sleep on this side so I can jump off in case of any sort of emergencies. So sunrise is about 7:30. It's now 9:15, so I'm gonna at least lay in bed and get ready for tomorrow. So yeah, thank you very much for watching the video. Part 2 will continue tomorrow morning when I go to photograph the seals. If you've enjoyed the video or found it to be useful in any way, please hit the thumbs up button. It really does help these tiny little channels like mine get bigger. If you've got any questions or anything like that as well, feel free to drop them in the comments. If you're not subscribed already, please consider doing so. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care.